The countdown ain't start yet. We're about to do the count.
Oh shit.
I ain't backwards, am I?
All right, we live, man.
Welcome to Minnesota School Talk Podcast. Thank y'all for joining. Appreciate y'all being here. We got a good show tonight, and let's do it, guys.
Yeah, we got a couple of topics that fire. Shout out to my man. Hey, guy, I'm gonna unmute your mic, man. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, what's happening? It's Mr. No Self. No
Okay, we
self or
got
no not. Don't forget the Mister.
the show. Y'all see who else? I'm gonna put him on the big screen, man. Y'all see my brother on the big screen, man. Petey, look up, man. Say cheese. Yo, check this out, man. Hey, so look, I reached out to my brothers today. I've been reaching out to everybody, and I said, yo, whoever don't join this live, boy, I'm cutting their ass off. As bad as hell. Now, this is really important though, you know what I mean? This topic right here, my man guy came to me with this a question, and then I found the video. We went to the video. I marked off some words. We got more than that because guy got some stuff in his archive, man. I don't know why he holding back for it, man. He playing games. But the topic, one of the topics is that we have is what are several key developmental impacts a child may experience growing up in a dysfunctional household. But before we get on to what is a dysfunctional household to y'all, man? Go ahead, unmute y'all mics. Let's talk about it. What, man? You go first since you on the road. You and Guy can go first. What do you consider a dysfunctional household?
Well, I consider a dysfunctional household with illiterate parents, first of all. Um,
Mm,
if your parents grew up, if you was from the 80s and 90s before, then your parents should be a little bit older. And back then, our parents was illiterate. They followed directions, and that was just about it. Also, a dysfunctional household is when parents don't know how to control their emotional state of being. Um, Another dysfunctional household is a mother that's going through postpartum and other things when she have a baby. Her emotional state of being has changed. Some moms go towards not wanting to accept the kid and stuff, and some moms just can't control their emotionals. Another dysfunctional family is when you allow a whole bunch of kids and outsiders into your house, influencing your household, taking over your household, and you don't have no control. Another one is,
hold on, man.
uh,
Hold on, man. Don't give too much. We got a panel, baby. Hold on. Shout out to
oh,
Dominique. Dominique
oh,
said, "LOL." I didn't get the message that you were cutting everyone off. Now we're talking stuff, Dominique. But no, I am going. To, yeah, I'm definitely going. Listen, let me tell y'all something, bro. When we do this show, man, and people be like, "Yo, they want to be a part of it," I expect them to be here when we go live. You know what I mean? We only do
right.
30 minutes, 40 minutes. You can't spend 30, 40 minutes out your day, man. Don't be talking about that you want to be a part of it. Now, these are my brothers on here right now. I've reached out to all of them. I said, bro, come on the show. They came and they all working right now. Guy working, Petey working. Petey just made 2 new tracks. I'm gonna play one of them tonight. Man on the road right now at his job. So, you know what I mean? I thank you to my brothers for coming.
Thank you.
This recording. But hold on though, man. You're giving up too much. We're gonna
Oh,
go to
okay.
God. Let's go to my man in No Self to see what he got to say, and then we're gonna go down to Petey, man. No Self, what up? Unmute your mic, man. Let's get it.
So,
The topic is
yeah.
what are several key developmental impacts a child can have growing up in a dysfunctional household. First, what is the dysfunctional household? What is one? Is that a single parent household, a 2 parent household with fights, or what do you call a dysfunctional household?
Well, it's a couple of things, right? So the first thing I say is a household where children are born from parents rooted trauma, right? unhealed
Mm.
trauma. Um, Another component of that is that a kid will end up being raised uh, by one or the other parents, and
Mm.
so that element alone can cause, well, opens the door for a lot of dysfunctional traits to take place again with this unhealed trauma. So that would like be an overcast of what I think it is. It's a bunch of individual things that I think add to it, but again, overall, I think that's what that creates a dysfunctional household. And I
Okay.
land my plane.
Okay, Petey, man, listen, you got 3 sons, you know what I mean, and 1 daughter. What is your definition of a dysfunctional household?
Man, that's pretty much easy. One of them is the main ones is two people who ain't compatible, who can't see eye to eye. One, you know what I'm saying, and they make babies off of lust instead of whatever it's supposed to be. We're gonna leave that for open ended. A second one is brain fart. My phone ringing. But for the most part, people who's not ready to be parents making babies, that's automatic doom for disaster. Not all the time, but it's a greater percentage in that than it is anything else, simply because it leads to drugs and all the other stuff that comes along with life.
Okay. All right. Hey, before we get all the way deep into the topic, shout out to Dominique. Dominique, you can come up. You want to come up, Dominique? I can get you a link. You can come on up here with us.
What's up, sir? Hold on, so for 1 second. What's up, PD? How you doing, young king?
PD on the phone.
Oh,
Blessing, 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 blessing.
Oh, he hit you.
all right.
Dominique said a dysfunctional household is not defined by income, race, or status. All right, single parent. No, she says it defined pattern of harm and lack of safety, not by how the family looks from the outside. Okay, hey, Dominique, you can come on up, mom. Those traits can happen in a
I'll read the
two-parent
comments.
home. Then she said those traits can happen in a two-parent home. Mister No Self. He sent a little shot at you. Okay,
I,
have
I
any of you
appreciate
guys?
that.
Yeah, because she was talking to you about it. No Self. What are some things that we can see in our young men growing up in a single female home that could be considered dysfunctional and it could probably just alter and change the way he live his life?
Well, first off, let's just it's not just single women. It's just single parents, right? Whether it's the man or it's just the woman, either way, right? So, and it's a lot of that going on. So, I think what happens with young men is that they become more feminized. Um, they become.
Petey started laughing. Petey, why you laugh? Yo, do you hold
Hold
on, hold on, Petey? Do you agree with that?
on.
No, do you agree with that though?
That's no, that tickled me a lot simply because two reasons. Two reasons. You
Go
know what I mean? The
ahead.
first reason my nigga said feminized. That's priceless. I'm quoting that and patting that. That's mine. Feminized. Um, Also, I'm a single parent of 3 boys, but I have my youngest technically his whole life since he was 6 months. He's like 13 now. You know what I mean? And I've been given the term "you a whole baby mama," so that's hilarious to me. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
We lost you.
Can't hear you, so
Can you get what he's
I
saying
bet
though when he's saying
he's
that?
talking that goodies.
No, yeah, I was definitely going in, but I would just ask him, can he agree with what he was saying about young men growing up in a house with a single mother that could, you know,
I'm saying it definitely can happen. We see it every day. People who grow up with single moms be successful and things like that. However,
okay,
one fact that does remain in all, they when they get successful, right? They all go through some weird stuff in life.
Yeah.
Why is that? You know what I mean? Straight
Yeah.
with it.
All right, no stuff. You want to continue with what you were saying? I know Petey wanted to. I got you, Dominique. I'm about to send you an invite. Tommy in the building, y'all. Shout out to Tommy.
What up, Tom?
You want to catch that comment real quick?
Tommy said, not having that.
Y'all be cool.
Not having that feminine and masculine energy, balance can affect once I'm bringing. I don't know. He sent the picture of something, but we can't see it. And one's upbringing. That's a fact.
Okay.
Because now, and I can attest to that simply because it's times when I'm raising 3 boys. You feel me? However, I do have a daughter as my oldest girl, so I had to learn how to be softer in some areas because some things I couldn't understand because it was more on an emotional level. You know what I'm saying? And it helped me communicate with my young, my little offsprings in a whole different manner. Like I have a beautiful relationship with my children. You know what I'm saying? And I'm blessed to have that. But that balance, you need, every man and every woman needs that. I feel like. Word.
Yeah, for sure. All right, bro. You want to continue what you were saying though? If you got your Bluetooth in to take it out, you know what I mean. Then it won't do that little whomping noise, so you'll be all right.
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
No, I was just saying, you asked what does it does to young men. That's
Yeah, we're gonna do for both parents' side because I don't want the women to think that it, and then I want the men to think that. So
we gonna cover both bases because
let's cover it all. And then for the females or for the men who don't like it, please come on up. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. If y'all want to come up, please say it in the comment. I got you, Tommy. Go check your inbox. I got you, YouTube, Dominique. I got you guys. Shout out to Riri.
We covering both. So again, together we win. Separate we fall. Let's just
facts.
Clear that air. But what it does to young men, and again, raised like that, and I'm a product of it myself. So it feminizes the young man to put their
Hold on,
masculinity.
that's the man. I got you. Go ahead. I'll unmute you, man, after he get done. I got you, man. Go ahead.
It just causes confusions to where you end up being a masculine version of your mom. In a lot of cases, not all cases, in a lot of the cases, and when you add, strength and masculinity to that type of attitude or that type of emotional, that uncontrolled emotion, you get violence. You get a lot of the things you see, a lot of the reactions that lead into penitentiary, a lot of the reactions that lead to quick reaction and without quick thinking. And so that, that is that's one of the effects of it, and there's a lot. And without that masculine identity, whether it's from, a father or, a positive uncle or somebody, I just feel as if in those cases, solution wise, it's that individual's responsibility to put that boy in front of the certain men in their family or mentors to ensure that they get it, because a lot of the times the man ain't qualified, the father may not be qualified to provide that. And so I get that, but that's some of the things that happens in these situations that we see a lot of what's going on now, and which leads into kids being who they are, that teachers are being tired. White people are calling out black fatigue. It's a lot of things that take place because of the effect. So a lot of the times we don't deal with the cause. We like to talk about the effect, but talking about the causes again, whether that's one woman raising a bunch of kids or one man raising a bunch of kids, there's side effects for each.
Okay. Man, do you want to say anything about that? Man, do you want to comment on that? Welcome to Dominique. Dominique in the building. Petey, do you want to you got anything to top off of what he just said, Petey?
Man, I agree 100%
You agree?
with what he said because I've done things because of that, you know what I mean, for that reason, and but unintentionally, you know what I mean. I had other obstacles that was going on in the neighborhood, in my face, and things like that.
Yeah.
However, my actions, I believe my actions would have been different if the living situations and the relationships my mother had, and you know what I'm saying, with different type of people, You know what I mean? I ain't gonna
With,
put it out there, but yeah,
no, I get it. I get it. With all of us up here, if they're dysfunction, been in a dysfunctional household, there's something that you could think of, like, damn, you know what I was going through that and I didn't realize it until I got my, you know what I mean? If there's something that, have y'all thought about it? Because when I think back on growing up in a dysfunctional household, I have to think of being just me and my brothers and my sister and just my mother. You know what I mean? Because she had to be the, you know what I mean? The good guy and the bad guy at 24/7, 365 days. So if you'll start getting animosity towards your parents after that. You know what I mean? Like, why am I here? Why was I born? You know, I don't want to be here. A lot of kids start running away from home and things like that. Shout out to Felicia. Felicia in the building. Peter, you want to catch it?
yeah. Shout out Felicia. Felicia said, I raised my two male sons by myself, and they are very successful young men. Which is that's what I'm saying. That happens.
Is that what
I
else you
feel
say?
it made them stronger because they did see me doing it alone.
Nah, man. Nah, I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. I am not buying it.
You want to comment on that one?
Oh
I'm just
Lord.
saying, like in all likelihood, there was some positive males that she had around these young men.
Yeah.
In all likelihood, whether it was uncles, whether it was men that she had in her life, she had some men that influenced them young men. That it wasn't just her, and then watching
Yeah.
her do everything. Because if that was the case, she probably gave them work ethic. She influenced their work ethic. That's a probable thing. But as far as there's no woman in the history of what it is we call society that can show a boy how to be a man. And in society, as a young boy, he will have to be a man at some point, and certain skills that you can't give him will be needed when he's dealing with
Okay.
his opposite sex and so forth and so on.
This
Yeah,
is
I
true.
dig that. And you know what? Shout out to Felicia because I've been knowing Felicia since like 2003. Her mother used to live right down the block, and I've been on her son since he was a little baby. He used to ride his bike up the block, and I used to play baseball and football with the kids on Norton. So you know what I mean. He had males around him. You know what I mean. But she definitely held it down for years though. So shout out to Felicia and her family, man, for real.
That part.
Yeah.
In the
You want to catch
comments
these? You want me?
we
I can
got
post it if you
Dominique.
want. Yeah.
Yeah, we got Dominique. Ain't she in here?
Hold on, Dominique. We ain't. Oh no, she left. Yeah. So go ahead. You can read
Okay.
it.
All right.
I mean, get your.
Compassion doesn't it says compassion doesn't come from perfect environments. Their office comes from some I hear some in the background.
All right, I got it. I just muted it. Go ahead.
All right. It said compassion doesn't come from perfect environments. It comes from what we had to survive. Some of the most compassionate people know what it feels like to be unseen, know what it feels like to I'm assuming need. Softness and not get it. So they become that softness for others and for themselves.
Okay, I
Felicia
like that.
says, no, I didn't. I was alone. And yes, I did show them and teach them worth ethic.
Yeah, she definitely showed them work that good, man. Shout out to Felicia, bro. Hey, you don't remember you might if you see her,
That part.
bro, you'll remember who she is when you see her. That people live on the block. Her people live on the corner to the left in that house right there in the middle of Maryland before you cross the street. You know what I mean? That was her mama house.
Like
Uh,
like
Dominique, what up?
Dom.
Go ahead and mute your mic, Dominique, and while you in the comment section and on the panel.
Going crazy with short
What's
stories.
up? Hey, but first, before I say anything, Dominique, this topic, like how, like growing up in a dysfunctional household, what did that look like to you? How did that, what did that look like to you?
Well, for me, I did grow up in a dysfunctional household. My mom was an alcoholic. My father
Mm,
was into drugs and going in and out of prison. Yeah, it was chaotic, but I can tell you that like I've learned from my parents' mistakes to not follow the same footsteps as them. Yeah, I may have created some of them or followed in some of them, but I'm also more aware, I'm more empathetic, I'm more understanding and I guess not so like unemotional and withdrawn from my children like my
okay,
parents were.
yeah,
So I don't
okay,
see it like it doesn't always follow the next generation because there are some things that I've stopped from traveling down the line of generational trauma,
Yeah.
but there are some
Um.
things that have been followed too.
So with that, what are several key developmental impacts a child may experience growing up in a dysfunctional household that you could name? And then after that, I see what man because man just came back in and so did Kendrick. So you know what I mean, and Ree in the building too.
What
Uh,
was that? Sorry, I had my
so
foster baby.
what are several key developmental impacts uh a child can experience going through a dysfunctional household?
Well, not
Huh?
feeling heard, not feeling seen, not, I mean, looking for other people for validation, or um, just out here just trying to get any attention. You know what I mean? Like trying to
Yeah.
be a part of something, trying to find their circle outwards rather than finding themselves inwards.
Okay. Riri, Kendrick. Hey, Kendrick, I just unmuted your mic.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining, man. I reached out to you a couple of times. Wanted to make sure you was all right, you know? Um, w- Kendrick, can you hear me? Ree, you with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Um, how you feel about the topic? Okay,
Yep.
Kendrick, you all right, man? Kendrick. All right, Kendrick on the phone. Ree, you want to talk about this topic, dysfunctional household?
I do it a little bit. I'll
Yeah,
just go from my experience.
talk about it a little bit.
I would say living in a dysfunctional household like stop me from, like expressing my emotions and like having struggles with expressing my feelings to people. I would say I got to struggle with setting boundaries and things like that. Like just it's stress. It makes a kid stress out.
Okay. Well, I'm in the Minnesota Cold Talk group, and I asked this question. Hey, Petey, are you ready? I'm gonna share the screen real quick. Okay, I'm gonna share this screen. Um, I want to go into some of the questions. We got over 140 in here. These are some of the
I'm not
things
about
that
to
you could.
answer 140 questions.
No. You don't got to. It's only really
I
it's only really two of them. I want you to really
don't
go
like
over,
tests.
right? This is test is gonna be an easy pass. But you see right here, Beverly, what she wrote right here.
Barely.
No,
Got to
yeah.
zoom in.
For Beverly, you know what I do? Hold on, this is what I do, Petey. I make it easier. I'll take it. I'll take her question. So shout out to Beverly. And I'll bring it over here and I'll put it in our private chat. All right. Kendrick said he was on hold too. There you go, PD. It's in our private chat. And then I could just and I while you talking, I'll scan
Okay.
through some of these things.
It says fear, low self worth. I said worth. They learn to think drama and trauma are normal. Thinking getting beat or controlled is love. That have 10 kids by 10 different fathers is okay. Not understanding the confusion of what the children experience. Mama or daddy, a free hoe, so they do the same when they grow up. Unable to learn basic life skills like cleaning, cooking, maybe bathing, poor grades in school, rather skip or horse around, unable to read or write past the third grade level.
Okay, and PD, if you're looking at this page, this one always this caught my eye because several people said it. They say unhealthy emotional development. That's the one
I
that
got some
really
siblings that's like that.
yeah, man. But
There's six of
that's
us.
crazy. And then she said it too, emotional dysfunction.
Mm,
A lot of people said dysfunctional households, you get that. So yeah, I just wanted to go through and
mm.
to show you guys how the people was interacting with that. So thanks,
That's
Peter. I
crazy.
appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of people picked that one. I want to go to the video. Can I go to the video? No self. You want me to go? Want me to play the video?
Man, go ahead, go take care of your business, man.
All right,
They play
listen.
a
I'm gonna play.
basketball.
Now I do got a video, but before I go to the video, man, I got to say shout out to my cousin, man, who up on the panel with us, man. What's going on, my brother?
Another day, another day.
Yeah, man. Let me tell you something, man. I love you to death, man. I appreciate you for jumping on this thing tonight, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know how life goes. Life be life, man. You know.
yeah, still trying to handle some business down there in Mississippi. So
Yeah,
got to take another trip back. So
yeah. So the
it's
people,
not right.
for the people don't understand, man, we got things going on in the family right now, and I know it takes a lot of strength to get on here, going through what you got going on, bro. And thank you, man. I appreciate it. And I sent you that invite because of that too. I said I got to get his head out of the, you know what I mean? I don't know where you thinking now. I'm like, let me get him up here with us. But with this topic, how do you feel about this topic? What are several key developmental impacts a child may experience growing up in a dysfunctional household?
Really, it's just with that, how they
What?
interact with society,
Yeah.
how they able to, coping, lack of coping skills and able to deal with adversity instead of just always lashing out because there's it's what they see. You know, you learn by what you see and what you're told. Like that comment that in the back. Tech, I was looking at that. I was like unable to learn. That I don't get that piece. What they mean by unable to learn.
Yeah, yeah, I was just reading it that she said dysfunctional family create a lot of trauma, low self-esteem, low self-worth, identity issues, bad habits, poor communication, unhappy relationships, lack of knowledge of self that can lead to drug abuse, self-hatred. So, you agree
Well,
with
I mean,
that?
the part that I didn't understand was unable to learn basic life skills like cooking, cleaning. I mean, if you're unable to learn, that sounds like a mental defect because
Well, you if you growing up if you growing up around some dirty parents, that the house is
yeah,
just trashy. They depressed. They don't bathe, so they're not telling their kid to bathe. They're not telling their kid to brush their teeth, wash their hair after they use the bathroom. I
Yeah,
can kind
kind
of,
of like a
that's
hoarder
that's
situation,
yeah,
like
that's not
a learned
teaching them.
behavior. You
I
know
mean,
what I mean?
that's
They
not
just
teaching them because
yeah.
they don't know. Being able,
yeah,
what unable to learn means somebody showing them and they don't understand.
yeah.
And see, that's why I was a little thrown off by that part of the question
How do you feel about
because
what my man No Self said when he said that a lot of young men get the trauma growing up with their mothers? It could
yeah.
it could all right. So look, I'm gonna play this video and then we can get back to the topic. So let's go to it and then I don't want y'all to tell me what do y'all think about this. Let's get it.
Females are the only ones supporting zesty dudes because they both share the same low emotional maturity.
wait,
Only becomes zesty
wait.
because they're raised by a single mother who's in competition with them. Every single mother trains their sons to be weaker than them so they can have control over them. So a lot of men who are raised by a single mother either become beta males or zesty because they're pulling off that same energy that their single mother gives, over emotional. And then on top of that, they don't have a masculine force in the household to teach them to reflect instead of reacting. And that's also why a lot of street dudes are low key DL. It's because they're all over emotional. Because anger is the only emotion taken seriously in a dysfunctional household. So if you're not spazzing out and punching walls, you will never be taken seriously. That's why your mom likes abusive dudes. That's why you never see an abusive man single. And the women who support Batiman are also raised by a single mother. So it's basically like she got a girlfriend that she could relate to. You feel me? So all this
Okay,
dysfunction
so
start from
do you guys
Oh wow.
Man, everybody, this is why
Ah!
everybody don't need the internet, man.
yeah.
Everybody don't need the internet.
Okay,
Hey,
so
what in
That, that,
hold
that
on.
was that was some of the most ridiculous stuff I've heard in my life.
Okay, talk about it, Kendrick.
For one,
Um,
I mean, I was raised by a single mother. Ain't nothing zesty about me. I know how to
right.
control my emotions. I know how to be a man. I did. My father was there, but he wasn't in the doggone household. Uh, who gave him a microphone, man?
Man, I don't
And he
know,
was
man.
like he was
That
like he barely old
I'm
enough to understand
crying.
the foolishness he's spewing. I can't.
you want to catch that one, Petey?
Okay, hey Mia, what's up? Maya, my bad. Maya Lop.
Maya in the building.
Feel me? She
Hey, you can come
says
up too, Maya.
that part. She says, imagine being born and placed in the car seat, crib, and playpen ages 1 through 5. Then you go to kindergarten and they diagnose you as autistic, but in reality, no one ever taught you anything. Spoke to spoke to you or read to you. Dysfunctional households have everything to do with a kid development.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
Felicia says that was complete trash.
Yeah, that was crazy. But okay, that was crazy. But if anything in that video that we just watched, is any of that possible, or do y'all feel like any of it true for
Some
what
of
you
it
guys
could,
see?
some of it could be, as far
Yeah.
as not being able to control their anger.
Yeah.
That piece, yeah. Because if you grew up with an abusive parent, whether it's single or two parent household, if you grew up with a parent that was violent, that always reacted to violence, that's what you learn. So that's what you're
Mm.
gonna emit. You're gonna mimic that. That piece, yeah. That's probably about the only thing he said that was remotely had any type of semblance. All that other foolishness, somebody
But you
turned
know
his
what's so crazy, man, and I don't know if I'm the only one who experienced this, but man, coming up where I come up at, I used to go over females' cribs, right? And they used to have little kids listen to Beyonce, little boys, right? Listen to Beyonce. They in there dancing and stuff with the girls. And I used to tell the mom, like, hey, yo, what y'all doing? And she like, oh, well, they even bought him a Beyonce CD for his birthday. I'm like, yo, is it cool? But I seen the little boy like grow into what he ended up becoming. You know what I mean? He's a LGBTQ. You know what I mean? So I seen that as a young guy. I'm like, yo, why are y'all doing this with him like that? Why are y'all allowing him to be over there dancing like that with the girls and stuff like that? And his father died. You know what I mean? And his mom just kept him with them. You know what I mean? And I seen it develop like that, but I don't know if it was because of that or if it was something in his genes or what. But I just remember
probably had something
watching
that
that
probably,
one.
I would say that probably had something to do with it because that's what they introduced to him.
Yeah.
Introduced to that, yeah. But I mean, to say that how he was in that video, come
Bro,
on,
I'm
man,
from
it happened.
Kendrick. Listen, Kendrick. I grew up. My mom. I had a one parent household. It was my mother, but I had you guys. I had my uncles. I had my grandfather. I had men that I looked up to. You know what I mean? So I had that male figure in my life. But
Right?
Maya said it's plenty of two parent households that produce LGBTQ kids.
Yeah.
I can agree with that too. And Felicia says she absolutely not agree with something that someone said. So Felicia, you're more than welcome to come up, man. We
No, I think
respectfully agree
I
and
mean
disagree with each other.
with that video, man, that was
Oh yeah, that video, yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, now let me get to the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Guy, what about that video sparked your attention to be like, yo, this is something we need to pay
Not
attention to?
so I don't look at the messenger, right?
Yeah.
I don't agree with young man. I'm sure he grabbed a bunch of internet talking points to come up with
Right.
that and added pizzazz to it and to attract folks. But he maybe been a little, himself. However, some of the points he made sufficed. Some didn't. As far as the demasculating, which is the same thing as adopting feminine traits and becoming not able to control your emotions. And what comes behind that, life decisions are made. People get killed. People end up in jail. A lot of things happen in those emotional spaces. So I think that was part of it that I agree upon. In addition
Yeah.
to, um, I do think that it's more acceptant that the alphabet community is more accepted in those spaces where it's a single woman in that household versus if there's a masculine person in that household, father or otherwise. I just think that it's probabilities, right? It's numbers, right? So the likelihood of that happening is not like, but like I said, he dropped a few jewels in that joint. Whether he was trying to land the plane with the whole zesty thing, I don't know. I don't know any gangster dudes that are zesty. And I'm sure that if you go to Atlanta, there's some people on the low that are
Yeah,
zesty.
definitely.
I haven't ran into any, or none of those haven't been uncovered on my watch. So I can't speak to that part of it at all.
If you go to speaking of, you go to anybody that visit Atlanta or familiar, you go to Midtown Atlanta, you go to see exactly that. You'll see the you would think this dude's a straight up gangster, but he's playing for the same team. You'll see it there, but that's that small community, so And a lot of that dude, half of them dudes don't been to prison 20, 30 years, and they just now, a lot of them are just now coming home. You know,
Yeah,
not
that's crazy.
and that accounts for a small portion, not all of them now, but that does account for a small portion of what you
Okay,
see now.
unmute your mic, Dominique, and you can talk, man. You go ahead, unmute your mic, Dominique. Unmute your mic, man. You got the panel.
Yeah, I just have my foster kid in the background. He's screaming. But calling them the alphabet family, like, or I think you could have a little more respect for the LGBTQ plus community rather than
Yeah, we
calling them
don't.
the alphabet one.
No facts. We don't
Well, a
want to. We
lot of
don't
folks
want
So
to.
can't
let me
say
ask
that
this
not out of
question. Let me
disrespect
pause.
because
Wait.
they can't pronounce
Wait.
all those letters.
Yeah, exactly. So if I mispronounce the letters, if I don't say it the correct way, then I get, oh, you bogus. And then if I just blanket statement it just to keep the conversation going, then it's like, yo, you should have a little bit more respect.
Yeah.
I'm not
But
disrespecting anybody here.
yeah, people know we don't mean no disrespect when we talking like that. We let everybody come up here. So yeah, so we definitely don't want to but upset nobody. It's all love up here. But we definitely want to have the conversation to see like, hey, what are some things that could impact a child in their development, make them even think certain ways, they even not even want to, you know what I mean? So yeah, we want to have that conversation. We gotta have a safe place to be able to have these type of topics right here without nobody feeling no type of way and everybody being able to speak and everybody be able to agree and disagree respectfully. Because I don't allow no disrespect. So I know my brother didn't mean no disrespect, but a lot of people can't be like LA. See, if I say it fast, I'm gonna mess it up. So I might then be I'll say it slow as hell to make sure that I get it right. So yeah, we don't mean no disrespect. It's all love.
But
Um,
I also think that you can get dysfunctional in any sort of family dynamic.
yeah,
Yeah, in one way or another, there's going to be some form of dysfunction.
but it got to be with so dysfunction is a word that we know that's not healthy to no one. You know what I mean? Can you get something? Can you get somebody that's dysfunctional? Or they raised in a household with everybody that's loving each other and building each other up. You know what I mean? Ain't no dysfunction gonna come up out of that. You know what I mean? You're gonna, like Petey said earlier. He said that it's a learned behavior. A lot of things. So that's why when he was telling when Felicia or who said that people don't clean up or things like that. That's a learned behavior. You see mom or dad that's sitting there depressed and always sad and just throwing stuff everywhere. That's a learned behavior. A child might just be eat something, throw the wrapper on the floor and the garbage can right there. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of learned behaviors. Maya
But
just posted LGBTQ. We're gonna remember that. I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna pin that right there. So we'll remember it. So we don't want nobody to be like, oh, they on there tripping. Nah, man, it's all love. It's very hard to get a whole bunch of, and this is one thing that the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast is trying to do and get these conversations started. Y'all see, it's we got 4 black men on the panel having these discussions. It's hard to get black men in a panel to talk about things like that. But we want every color up here. We want white men, white women. We want everybody to be able to come up and have these conversations, and that's why I keep sending these invites out. We want the community up here. We want this to be a community-based podcast with community topics and get to the bottom line. Because the way I grew up, the way Kendrick, No Self, PD, Ree, and Dominique grew up, it ain't like how they grew up on the West Side and things like that. They see things different. So have everybody perspective. I think that's a way to get to the point where we could start not only communicating but understanding. Communicating with people without no type of progress of changing anything is pointless. Hey, Maya, I want to show that video that you had too about that explosion, and I want to talk about that before we leave. Petey, where you at, man? Get on your mic, baby. Where you go? Petey, Petey, you done lagged out. What happened, man? We don't even see you no more.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
All right, you want to catch this from Maya?
Dysfunction is not a normal and definitely don't exist in every household. For me personally, my kids didn't know peace in the home until I was a single parent. Nothing is normal about chaos and confusion at home.
And now let's speak on that, y'all. How can a kid growing up in a situation develop type of certain issues with just knowing that? Like, oh, if dad comes over and her mom gonna argue, or when mom gets around dad, it's gonna be like that. So Can that be a problem with kids too, growing up with their development issue?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
another
because
learned behavior. They see it. People don't
it's what they're seeing.
right. They don't.
What they're
Kids
seeing,
don't
what they're living.
listen to what we say. They listen. They listen to what they see. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you always say, you know that old saying, "Hey, do what I say, not as I do."
Growing up like that, can they end up resenting the mother or the father?
Yeah,
Because they could be like, dang, mom.
yeah. I
Yeah, that
mean, you
depends.
can end up resenting both, if not one or
Yeah,
the other.
because I'm about to
Right.
say, because that could make them feel like, hey, mama's being weak because whenever dad do this, or mama being overruled because she's always mad at dad and they get to argue, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Our
Yeah,
dad's
'cause
always been like this. He's been mean to mother. So
But
that could,
a lot of times
once
that
they
anger
leave
is
that house,
unknown.
yeah.
It's expressed in an unknown way. For
What do
example,
you mean by
myself,
that?
for myself, I was trying to please titles that just because it was the title. I mean, I couldn't realize that wasn't family. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes you don't understand the emotion that you're going through when you're that young. You thinking all type of different things that doesn't really matter. You're not thinking that deep because nobody has ever presented to you or explained the emotion to you.
Okay.
If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So we be thinking he hate me because he ain't buy me a lot of non-laters and he buy him a bunch of non-laters. And you know what I mean? I know that's his father, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
My father don't do this, that, and the third. It's different ways, but that whole levels, like it really do bother kids and it affects them when they get grown.
Wow. Hey, yo, man, welcome back to the panel. You want to speak on that, man? She said that Maya snapped with that one too. You want to
She
catch this
said
one?
they be on the edge. They be on edge. Anxious always. Worry if you okay. Then when you leave, they think it's okay or normal to interact with each other or the parent in the same unhealthy ways. Well, that's in a lot of different situations. So it could for me it could come so many different angles. Like I mean that's crazy though.
Man, you with us? You want to speak on that one? Because I think that was a dope one. I want to know like what could stop that? Like maybe having to sit down with them, man. You know when we get older, we think about stuff like that. Like man, maybe if I would have sat down with the kids and the father and be like, yo, even though we have these problems, these issues, you know what I mean? You think that could help them because right now they don't seen it, but having to sit down with everybody like, yo, let's just sit down and just you know what I mean? Let them do this for them. You know what I mean? And let them know, like, hey man, we argue because we didn't get along. Everybody don't get along. Maybe the way we went about it was wrong, but it'll probably help them. How you feel about that, Kendrick? You think that'll soften the blow a little bit for the kids and mom and dad argue whenever they're around and stuff like that?
hey, say that again because somebody got a little bit of static.
Yo, yo. Okay, I was like, if you always coming around your girl and whenever you and the kids are around each other, you're arguing and things like that. Do you think having to sit down with the kids and be like, yo, listen, every time we don't always get along, but we do love each other and no, it's not right the way we do it, and we're working on that. Having that conversation with the kids so they won't have to feel like, oh, we gotta be quiet when dad and mom around because we don't want to make it seem like it's our fault. And then when they leave, everybody talking again is like, because she was like, her kids be like having anxiety to the point.
Yeah, if you sit there and you talk to the kids, but you got to be able to understand what their level of comprehension is. Are they comprehending what you're telling them? You're trying to explain to them and you're giving them that reassurance. Yeah, that helps them because I've done that with my kids because it was a period of time when me and Steph we would argue like cats and dogs, and I would pull the kids aside and let them know like whatever we got going on does not have nothing to do with y'all. I'm always gonna be your father, regardless of what we have going on right now. So you have to be able to reinforce that in the kids. If you do that, and I'm just saying from personal knowledge with me doing that, that's why my kids are functioning adults. They
Yeah.
didn't grow up the way I grew up.
Out of curiosity, how much is it like a child a product of their environment versus dysfunctional?
It's a lot. It's almost 100% you're a product of your environment.
Right. So therefore, they're not even aware that it's dysfunctional.
Oh,
If that's what that's like if they don't notice this one because that's all they know. But once they get outside of that household, and some realize that what they experienced was dysfunctional. That's why when the kids leave from those dysfunctional places and they go somewhere and they realize that what they were taught was wrong and dysfunctional, that's how they find out.
Right. And do you know anybody who has grown up and said, I had a very, very functional life all the way around?
They had a what? What was that? A what?
A very
Yeah,
functional life all the way around.
yeah.
Yeah, I know some. I have family members that didn't grow up the way I grew up. Then, and I
That
was,
they weren't given like too much nurture or too much of
yeah,
the opposite of like, so what we think is toxicity, like what about like being over nurtured or over cared for or over loved? It still turns people into a dysfunctional person. It could still turn them
Well,
into a
that,
dysfunctional person.
well that
but it wouldn't be.
that's
It
a
wouldn't
lot
be
with
a
their
result of the
culture.
dysfunction. It wouldn't be a result of the dysfunctional household, though.
How would you not consider it part of the dysfunctional household? Because if they
So
were
you
if
just
they were like
indicated.
over loving, over
We know
compassionate,
that.
over
That's like
like a
being,
helicopter parent, like in like the,
yeah,
most people wouldn't consider that as like a dysfunction, but it
being
would be
spoiled. Like
dysfunctional.
they just said, you got a spoiled kid. That spoiled kid is not dysfunctional. He's just spoiled.
Well, wait, but I hear you. I hear you. And here's what I'm saying though. If me and if I told you that I knew somebody that way and you said what if, I'm telling you I know. So that it is a possibility that these things can happen. There are families, there are people that grow up outside of dysfunction that live to be whatever. And yet still things happen in lives that change the trajectory, good or bad. We're not suggesting that at all because that's life, right? But if it's possible, and again, what I'm sharing with on this panel is that most of us, unfortunately, came up within some sort of dysfunction, and we're just kind of sharing that experience. But yeah, definitely met people outside of it, and it was some envy, some jealousy growing up,
Yeah.
seeing type of stuff. That was the result of it. But yeah, it's definitely not negating any of that. That's possible. We see that, and there's results of that because too much of anything ain't good for you.
Hey,
Um,
PD, I got Instagram comments. I put in the chat. You don't have to read them all. Read the last bottom two. And shout out to our people on Instagram watching. We really appreciate you guys. We are going to read you guys' comments too. Shout out to Keisha that's over there. Shout out to Live Fearless that's over there. Shout out to D
Yeah,
over there. Shout out to everybody. Thank you.
and Solo can attest to the way that we grew up was very much dysfunctional. How we were reared as kids, very much dysfunctional. But that's not who I ended up. I'm not that person. I'm very functional.
Yeah, facts.
I mean, and my kids didn't experience the dysfunction that I experienced as a kid because I learned. And not everything wasn't always dysfunctional, but I did experience some dysfunction in my household.
Yeah, word, man. Hey, you ready, PD?
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
I,
Hold on 1 second. But do you think your kids will grow up saying that there was no dysfunction in your home?
Yes, they would tell you they're all grown now. They would tell you there was no dysfunction because they're able to adapt to any situation that they're in.
So do you feel like experiencing dysfunctional in the household is different than experiencing outside the household? So with you know what I mean? Like with that. No, no, I got you. We about to read your look. She jumped in here too. I was about to read your comment right now on Instagram too. So thanks for joining on YouTube, on Facebook too. She's like, y'all gonna read my comments. So hold on, Dominique. Hold on, Kendrick. You ready, P? Wherever
all
we
right.
go.
Live Fearless 24/7 says kids tend to learn regulation from their parent. If the mother or father lacks self regulation, the child will too. She
Hmm.
also says age of the parent, knowledge, maturity all impact choices in how children are reared.
Okay,
Um,
and then on the
Celeste, she
screen.
says there are people who were raised with more. There are people that were raised with more balance and security at the same time. There are people who were sheltered and are not secure as adults once. We realize how our environment impacted us. It's up to us to reparent to reparent ourselves. I apologize. Mia also says 100%. Eventually, the cycle is broken by those who want to know better. So
That's
let's
what
also
Kendrick was
says
speaking on.
right. Dysfunction and challenges are two different things. You can have a family. You can have family struggles without dysfunction.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
cool. And that's what
Yeah.
Kendrick was saying at the first. Kendrick was saying like, "Yo, that's because we grew up like that. I learned from that, and and that's why I be so mad at Petey, man, because this dude is what you call a type of dad that people need to shine light on, bro. Because what we go through as kids, like I was told to fight, I was told to go crazy, right? But when you go through certain things, right, and you raise your sons to be men, knowing what your struggles was, you can be selfish, you know what I mean? But you choose not to be, and you raise your boys and say, "Yo, listen, you going to work, yo, you going to school. I'm gonna stay, put my foot on your back if you ain't doing it right, and yo, and raising them right, yo." And that's why I be getting mad at him because I be telling him like, "Yo, join this podcast because already." You got the job of being a centering father, leader of the program, and things like that. We need people like him for platforms like this, man, because there's a lot of people that want to be a part of this and they don't even know how. They be like, "Man, I don't know if I got the time to do it, or I don't know." Ooh, no, man, you got the time to do it. It's a lot of people you can help just with your experience, man. You know what I mean? Y'all got to start coming on this thing, bro, because it's people that want to hear what you guys been through. She said, "There you go, Solo." Shout out to Felicia. Felicia know me, you know what I mean? I'm from the streets. Um, River, you want to catch these comments? I'm gonna start putting them up on the screen. Petey probably started crying for a little bit, man. We're gonna bring you back up, Petey. It's all love, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Broke him down over there, man. You know that's my dog.
You bogus.
You gotta watch Solo because he will do you bogus.
For real.
You know, it's love, man. You know what I mean? I cry sometimes too. I used to cry all the time, man. I can't cry no more now. They come out like, ugh. You know what I mean? I think get ugly, man. I can't even cry no more. I'm just ugly as hell. But, nah, man. Let's quit joking, y'all. You want to catch the do we got any comments?
Yeah. 2.
All right.
Mia says you can't self-protect your reality on others. You can't self-project. I said protect. I'm tripping.
Can't self-project your realities on others.
That's a norm. People do that all the time.
Yeah.
And Felicia says,
"Hold on, man. Y'all got to that she just. What's up with that one, Mike? Where that
that's
come
very
from,
common.
Man?
Like
that's crazy. You can't self-project your reality.
Broken people do that every day.
Yeah, I mean you got people that grew up in functional environments that do that. I mean, that's more.
It's like a manipulation thing in a way.
Based off dysfunction or functionality.
I'm so mad at Riri for being so dysfunctional. I done hooked her whole setup up, new headphones. I done hooked the camera up and everything. She gonna tell me, "Yeah, my phone died." Man, what you like the phone for? Got a $3,000 PC. No, I just read your message. It says, my phone acting up. Let me try." $2,000
if I stay on here too long, it starts staticking and acting crazy.
That's you with that cricket service.
Listen, bro.
Yeah,
don't
do that though.
I got her
He said cricket.
Bro, I got her $240-something earphones,
now,
bro.
I gotta mess with my sister.
Kendrick, but listen to her setup. She got a $240-something headset, a $2,000 PC, and a damn camera. Get off your phone, man. What are you doing all this technology for? It's crazy.
She said that she ain't buying for all that.
Hurry up and get on. I'm sorry.
Hey, we are Arc Raiders
tonight.
tonight.
Prepared next time.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
PC.
Yeah, we definitely get on there tonight. But listen, y'all, before I end the show, I want to talk about something that's very, 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 very important. There's a lot of people right now of all colors in the system right now doing a lot of time for crime they did not commit. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have a brother come on the show who's been in the penitentiary since 2001 for a situation that he did not commit, and it's so messed up, y'all. I'm talking about. I really need the community to share this. Because this man was actually convicted of something where the prosecutors hid evidence. They didn't even interview certain people, and they just let people. The case is just crazy. You guys are gonna hear him speak tomorrow. I'm gonna bring his sister on the podcast, so it's gonna be at 5 p.m. tomorrow, y'all. Please, I want you guys to hear this. I probably put $100 on ads for the show for it could go around. I reached out to a lot of people at the Capitol and told them about this. They said that they already know. They're letting out people right now who is wrongfully convicted from the 2000 all the way to 2022, letting them out of jail, bro, after they done served 20 some years of their life, bro. So please, y'all, please come join the show tomorrow. If you at work, it's cool because now y'all can put the bug in your ear and listen to it. This brother been in jail for a crime he didn't commit. The kids was right there why it happened. They did not identify as him being the one. The evidence proved that he is not the one. I want to show his transcript, but they don't want his case number to be online yet, so I'm not gonna do that. But his sister gonna come in. She's gonna read off the evidence, and I just want y'all to just look at y'all sons, look at y'all brothers, your uncles, your mothers, and see that they could be convicted of a crime that they did not do with zero evidence to say they did it, man. So please tune in tomorrow, y'all. I really need y'all help for this one, man, because this brother, if he's innocent, he needs to come home. He done spent all that time in jail right now. I'm gonna reach out to shout out to Damon Drake. He spoke to the brother, and maybe we can get some things to happen, man. We got to be able to do something with these platforms, man. I get the most live views right now, man. Ain't no way that these viewers can't put I need to get it's a petition or already that I'm a put on the page. I need everybody to sign it. Don't just sign it first. Read the evidence, look into it first, and then sign it. Cause y'all gonna see it's bull. It's crazy, man.
He's still locked up.
He's still locked up, bro. And what's so crazy is the prosecutor said that they know they didn't even show the evidence. So
that's kind of par for the course for things that happen around in this country.
Right.
So you'd be surprised how often that actually happens.
No, they just let out a couple of my friends for things they didn't do. They've been locked up since 2014, and he's out of jail now. But he was convicted of something he didn't do. But before I end this show, man, do anybody want to speak on anything? What's going on, Peter? You got anything to say? No self. Talk to me, brother. Dominique,
hope everybody have a safe evening and whatever going on, and wake up healthy tomorrow, feeling good and motivated, and willing to support my new track I'm about to drop.
Oh, I got it.
You know what I'm saying?
You got bars?
Bars. I finished it. Took forever to do this track, but I finished it. I'm still learning engineering. So I'm doing everything completely by myself.
I actually have it right. I actually have it right now. Do you want to? Okay. Do you want me to play it? Cause I actually got it right now. Cause
man, yeah, it got the with the
Man,
play
be
that
cool.
song.
How about the with the
with the
What's wrong with this guy, man?
Would you stop saying that?
Okay, let me go ahead and play his song right now, man. I'm gonna play this, and we are looking for local artists that don't mind coming on the panel. All right, check this out, man. This is my man Drink right here. Let's get it.
I tell you, I got 4 hot bars. That's it.
Can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah, stack my paper, watch it pile high. Diamonds dancing, catching every eye. 100K, just another day. Hustle hard, ain't no other way. Yeah. Yeah, pull up, dripped out my sweat, leaking out, bank account swelling like a fever dream. Got the game locked, ain't no stopping me. Every move calculated, watch me beat. Money falling like it's raining on me. Count figures, making moves so fast. Top floor living, penthouse view. Everything I touch turn gold and new. Yeah, yeah. Grind don't stop, keep the engine burning. Money talking, the streets keep on burning. Stacks on stacks, that's my only mission. Getting rich beyond your wildest vision. Drip so hard they can comprehend. Bags of gear, watch my fortune extend. Came from nothing, now I'm touching lights. Boogie with the hustle, yeah, I'm in my lane. Get into the money, running through the game. Rubber bands around it, yeah, I'm getting rich. Used to have nothing, now I'm making switches. Yeah, stacking, never stopping though. Yeah, paper on the table, watch my wallet grow. Getting all these checks, yeah, I'm cashing out. Started with a vision.
What happened?
Yo, hey, boy, that joint was fire, boy.
Bro, I'm him with
Yeah,
thee.
I like that.
I'm getting my
Boy,
engineer
that was
skills
fire,
all the way
boy.
there. Listen, come on, man.
Hey, boy,
Hey,
that was fire.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
yeah, with the yeah.
Hey, yo, I support
I
it.
ain't
You know,
playing.
and listen,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Listen, I'm not
Took
If it
some
was
time.
trash, I was gonna tell you.
I hope so.
I'm not a big
But I
music
like that.
lover, bro. I listen to 2 rappers. I listen to Tupac and Kevin Gates. I really don't listen to a lot of rappers, bro. Hey, but that was dope. I like that.
I like
So,
that. I like
when
I
that.
ain't gonna
I
lie.
can
It
get
took
that
a
on
while
the
to find
radio.
my own sound. It took a while
Yeah.
to find my
she
own
said,
sound. You know
hold
what I
on,
mean?
you know, Jamar got music. Well, tell him that I am opening up the platform for local artists.
That was good. That was
There's 2 things they
real
need to
good.
have. They need
I'm gonna
to
send it
have.
to you, Ken.
No, there's one thing that
Or tell
if
son
you
to
got
forward it to
music,
you.
you got to
All
have a
right.
video. So if you got a video and you want some of your music played on the Cold Talk, please, man, I'm opening up the platform for music artists, people who do spoken words, poetry, all of that. I'm opening up the platform for them. PD, that was fire, man.
Yeah.
No,
Hey, what
that's
happened?
dope.
Why couldn't it play all the way? Why you ain't play it all the way?
I couldn't give them everything. They got to go.
I don't care, bro. It's done.
We can't give them.
It's
That was
done.
fire. I ain't gonna lie, that was
It's
fire.
done.
Yeah, I can hear that. I can hear that on the
It's
radio.
done.
Hey, listen, that was fire. Well, tell your son I said reach out to me, and I definitely want to give him a segment. Tell him to come on up. Let's talk about music. Let him play his videos, and we're gonna go. Hey, yo, listen, y'all. So I got to get that boy a 10 on that one. That was kind of fire.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast. Make sure that y'all be here tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Man, please, y'all. We need everybody in the building. If you guys support me, thank you. I really appreciate you. Shout out to everybody that make this
I'll
possible.
be at work. I don't get off till 10.
Okay, just throw it in your ears or something. Just share it. Please, if you're watching this right now, just share the live. You ain't got to do too much. Share the live. Let them know that we live, and that's it, man. If you guys got love for me, do that. I really appreciate you. Thank you to Riri. She the one who got all the Minnesota Cold Talk gear popping. If y'all want the apparel, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I should have threw my shit on.
You know what I mean? Don't worry about it. We're gonna get you on there Sunday. I need you on there on Sunday. So
Sunday, I'll be in Davenport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go down Thursday.
Don't leave. Don't leave after this. Stay up here because I want to talk to you. Okay.
I'll think about it.
Man, come on, man. Yo, thank y'all for joining the Minnesota Cold Talk podcast.
Problem. What is wrong with him?
We'll see you guys
Stack
later
my paper.
tomorrow. Peace.
Stack my